If you're a business owner, C suite member, people manager, aspiring leader, or simply want to have an impact and add value in your space, being confident in yourself is essential for success. Your personal brand goes beyond mere marketing. It's what makes you memorable and can be the maker or breaker for someone to work with you. I'm Josi, and I'm a certified leadership and mindset coach. And I was speed climbing up the career ladder in corporate finance until I burnt out and decided to take a leap and help others to create a life, career, and business they love by taking action and owning who they are. And today we are talking about practical steps that you can take to stop dimming down your light, muting your voice, filtering your opinions, or holding back your full potential. Thanks to social tool and often parental conditioning, we learn to play it safe in order to keep harmony, to fit in, or to avoid judgment or conflict. But the thing is, okay, playing it safe may get you the normal tag, but normal never won a prize, okay? And the cost you pay cannot only be measured in pounds or US dollars. I say only because if you are a business owner or CEO, you might lose out on revenue and profit precisely because you're ingrained so deeply to conform and fit in rather than stand out and be yourself. But you also pay with lack of fulfillment, impact, and of course, your own happiness. It's like putting a stop on a waterfall. So it only drips small drops every now and then to make sure you're not too much, that you're liked by everyone else, or that you don't flood the whole area because, yeah, it could be too much, right? First up, if you tone yourself down, you will piss people off. That's just a fact. If you don't tone yourself down, you will also piss people off. That's also a fact. Some people won't ever like you and will always judge you, no matter if you do your thing, someone else's thing, speak a truth, or don't speak at all. So forget those people for a moment, okay? Secondly, imagine the effect of diluting yourself actually has. Because if you don't flood the area, the environment can't flourish. Everything's dull, bare, and uniform. No other plants can grow, and nothing can really bloom in their full potential. So just keep that metaphor, that mental picture in mind right now. Because you have value to share and an impact to have on this world. And by holding back, not only will you, but also the whole wild world miss out. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. You always, no matter what position you're in, lead by example. You always influence others as to what is considered the norm as well. So if you play by the norm, despite feeling drained and depleted because of it, you showcase that that's the way to go and people will follow, especially if you're in a leadership position. So going against the norm and taking a different route or approach ain't crazy, but in fact, trailblazing. So, for example, imagine you're a leader who wants to foster a better work culture where people can thrive and work flexible times and are happy to do their job and efficiently, right? So they do what they are paid to do, but they also are happy to do it and they do it in a great way. They bring in ideas, they brainstorm, and they think outside the box. However, you always do overtime yourself. You are the one who replies to emails on every weekend, and people always catch you having lunch at desk during calls, for example. So just think about it for a moment. What example are you setting here? You heard the saying, be the change you want to see in this world. And the most effective way to do that is to unapologetically step into your authenticity. So let's explore some tips as to how you can do that. Okay. Number one, become more self aware. Self awareness is the first step to change. I always say that. And in this example, it is also the first step to becoming a better leader and influential powerhouse in this space. And I would love to invite you to grab a pen right now and note down these following questions so you can journal or reflect upon them and see what comes up for you, okay? So, question number one, where do you hold yourself back or don't speak your truth out of any fear or limiting beliefs? I just quickly repeat that for you. Where do you hold yourself back or don't speak your truth out of any fears or limiting beliefs? Question number two, what would you do and say if these fears weren't existent? What would you do and say if these fears weren't existent? Who do you want to be? Question number three. Who do you want to be regardless of what other people think of you? Who do you want to be regardless of what other people think of you? And the last question, in which areas of your life do you shame rather than pride yourself? And this is an important one. In which areas of your life do you shame rather than pride yourself? Because in whatever area you feel shame, you cannot actually truly be yourself because you don't celebrate yourself. You don't own yourself, really. You don't carry yourself with pride and know that you are the shit, quite literally. Not that you're shit, but you are the shit, okay? So pause this episode now if you can and give these questions some ponder time, or do it after you listened of it all. Because now we get to tip number 2. Open up and share more of you. That doesn't need to be telling everyone your darkest secrets unless you want to do so because of the lessons in the story. But it can be as simple as changing your outfit to what you truly love wearing, sharing your opinion more openly, even or especially if it's contradicting to what others say. It can start with turning off the blur in your background in Zoom meetings and letting people into your life or sharing it proudly, right? Because all of this in the back, like this is a part of you, it's part of who you are. So for example, also another way was for me on Instagram to change the covers of my reels to better represent my embodied authority rather than just having a circle with text and a blurry photo in the background. Because I got the comment, for example, from my mentor saying, it kind of looks like you're hiding. I'm like, I don't want to hide. Like, I don't want to hide. So let's change it. So share what matters to you and why. Share your expertise, share your skills, share your passions, and learn to do so with pride. Own it because you are a great and inspirational human being because there's only one of you. I don't need to tell you that. And if you're now thinking, I have nothing to share, or there's nothing I'm proud of, I challenge you to write a list with at least 20 things you did that make you feel proud up until now, or things that others have complimented you on. You can also ask some of your most trusted friends and loved ones to tell you what they celebrate about you and what skills they admire in you, like what they see comes naturally to you that they wish they would have as a skill, and add that to the list as well. Then, tip number 3, be present with your presence. With this, I mean that your energy and your body language can tell a very precise story about you without even saying one word. And where there is misalignment in your words and how you're showing up, you're not representing yourself in an authentic way. So you might share some information with the energy of lack from a place of fear rather than abundance and conviction. Or you might be slouching and always holding your hand in front of your mouth if you feel insecure. People pick up on that. They're not stupid. People are smart. And I'm sure you've experienced it before as well, when you could just tell. You could just tell without them really even saying anything that someone is fake and tries to be like overly nice or something they actually aren't and just comes across as off. And a tip I have received from my mentor and coach here as well the other day was about visualizing in bed before you go sleep how you want to show up as that authentic version of yourself. So, how do you show up in that webinar? How do you lead that meeting? How do you show up in that podcast? Or how do you show up in the episode where you got booked as a guest? Or how do you speak and what do you wear, say, etc., etc.? Envision yourself being at your best as you navigate different scenarios. And of course, when it comes to actually doing it in the moment, practice it and do it. Give it a go. It's okay to make mistakes. It's natural, it's human to make mistakes and to not do it perfectly as you envisioned. That's not what matters. What does matter is that your intention behind is authentic and true and aligned to you and who you are. And here's one bonus tip that I have been using for quite a while now, which is to have daily reminders of affirmations that keep on nudging you in the right direction. For example, I want to always have full ownership and responsibility over my own results, which is why I have the affirmation, I'm a player, not a spectator, on my wall, like literally behind the camera over there. Or I also scheduled actually hourly reminders with different affirmations that pop up on my phone as well as my Apple Watch, like every top of the hour. So At the time of recording, it's 2 minutes to the top of the hour. So in 2 minutes, I will have a reminder popping up. And having these little nudges can help you to boost confidence and keep on showing up in alignment with your most authentic self, ultimately leading you to literally own who the fuck you are. And I am all for that. I am all for that. So here's a quick recap before we wrap up today's episode. Playing it safe may get you the normal tag, but normal never ever won a prize. So to be truly authentic, unique, or to stand out, you can practice first and foremost self-awareness, get to know yourself better and learn how you hold yourself back, then take action to adjust that. The second tip I shared with you today was to share more of you, whether that's your pretty face or your expertise, but most definitely it should be your embodied authority, which leads to tip number 3, be present with your presence. Adapt your way of moving and shift your energy so you come from a place of, I know I'm the shit, rather than thinking I am shit. I also want to say at this point, you do not have to figure it all out on your own. This episode is a great starting point, but if you feel like you need more support to unlock your authentic leadership style, then do reach out to me and we have a chat about working together, because this is my jam. I could talk about this for hours, but I'm trying to be concise and give you like the best nuggets here and there. But this is also why I do what I do. So do slide into my DMs and we can get going. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe to the show, of course, like this episode, share it with friends and colleagues, and take action on what you have learned today. The world needs your volume 100 version, and I can't wait to see it, okay? So see you next Monday with another episode, and have a great day. Bye. Margie is here too. Hi. Thank you.